diversify the economy. It's the job of entrepreneurs. And what we have actually done is now looking at various sectors of the economy, especially the main one, agriculture. We were really never ever in agriculture, but right now we're doing a backward integration of our sugar business to do about 1.2 million tons of sugar, including power generation, because the sugar too, is one of the byproducts to generate power from the, bagasse, and, we do ethanol, we do biocompost, we do animal feed, so that's a full diversification there. And we're also looking at how do we make Nigeria self-sufficient in milk. Because right now, today, Nigeria imports about 98% of what we use in milk. So we're trying now to look at, doing dry process, milk. We're also doing 1 million tons of, rice, both processing and also the backward integration, which is the farming.
Just explain for the audience, Aliko, backward integration. What does that mean?
Backward integration, like for sugar today, what we are doing is that we're importing the raw sugar from Brazil and to refine it in Nigeria, which means we produce sugar and molasses. But right now, we are now going direct into the farm, growing the sugar cane, processing the sugar cane, producing molasses, producing sugar, producing ethanol, producing biocompost, which is like fertilizer. So it's the entire chain,
right?
Which means we are not really going to import anything. So backward integration is actually what we want to sort of look at in all sectors by not using our foreign exchange to import raw material. Because if you look at it really, most African industries, they still rely on importing of raw materials, which doesn't really change the whole scenario. Because what you want is to be self-sufficient. And by being self-sufficient, you need to actually produce the entire chain. The entire value chain has to be done by you, not by any other country. So what we are doing now in rice is actually not only processing the rice, we're also growing the rice. But we're doing in two folds. One is through outgrower system, which means we will support the farmers, give them seedlings, give them all the fertilizer, insecticides, and then we give them an open price. Open price means that they can sell to us or they can sell to our competitor. So, that one is not really tying them up, but they have to pay us whatever we have invested in them, giving them the seeds and whatever. So that's what we are doing. In terms of refinery, like what His Excellency the Vice President said that, yes, we are doing 650,000 barrels per day. 650,000 barrels per day is by far higher than the Nigeria's consumption. We will be able to feed the entire West African market, including Central Africa, in terms of consumption of petroleum product. And we are not really going to produce much of the West, which is like low fuel oil and coal, and we're using some of the oil-based products, like polypropylene, polyethylene. We're doing about 1.3 million tons of polypropylene and polyethylene put together. So that's very huge in terms of this. Today, Nigeria is the only country in West Africa that produces about less than 100,000 tons of, polypropylene, and which is in high demand. We're also doing fertilizer, which is 3 million tons of urea and ammonia, and we're also doing 1 million tons of NPK. When you look at it today, by the time that we finish our fertilizer, 3 million tons, Nigeria is going to be the largest exporter of fertilizer from imports. A year ago, we are going to be the largest exporters of fertilizer in the continent.
These are very impressive figures. Obviously, you have built a business at scale. You've got scale. Can you point to any examples of other companies that are doing similar things in terms of backward integration and boosting Nigerian self-sufficiency, or are you the exception to the rule?
Well, I think we're exception to the rule. People are doing their own bit, they're, expanding. But the only thing is that we are different. We think differently because we think, we have a lot of faith in Africa. We believe that Africa is the right place to, invest. I mean, if you look at today, the population of Africa is about 1.2 billion. And the main area where now we have actually gone into, total of over about 10, 12 countries today operating. And then we'll end up in the next 2 years with about 75 million tons, doing about 17 countries in Africa alone. Because we've seen that the population of 1.2 billion is 16% of the world's population. And then again, by 2100, you won't believe that Africa, based on the McKinsey, Africa will be about 49% of the world's population.
Just think about that.
3.8 billion.
49% of the world's population.
That's right.
By which date?
2100. 2100.
2100.
That's right. By 2100. So really, the future is great. I know from Africa, we're actually starting from the low base. Whatever that we're going to do, we're not really up there. So whatever that you produce, there's demand for it today, especially in our own subcontinent, which is the sub-region, ECOWAS. We have about 320 million market. And 7 years ago, we were all importing. By 2007, as at 2007, Nigeria is the number 2 in terms of imports of cement in the entire world, after US. It was US and Spain, then Nigeria, but Nigeria took the second position. Today, in Nigeria, we have capacity to export over 6-7 million tons, and we'll start doing that by next year. We have 2 terminals, which is coming up. So when you look at all these, okay, fine, sometimes we think big, but if you don't really think big, you are not going to grow at all. For you to think big, you have to really believe in what you are doing, and we truly believe in what we are doing. We believe in Africa, we believe in the growth of Africa, and I know that, yes, some people now, they say, no, they've tried. They haven't really tried enough, because Africa is a place that you have to think long term. It's not a place that you just want to go and play by the side 2 years or so. Or the normal way where now, for example, some people say, okay, yes, there's going to be an election in Nigeria in the next 2 years, so they want to wait and see how that will progress. And that's not really the way to invest in Africa.
Well, I personally know that Aliko Dangote thinks big, because when I went to his office in Lagos, the one thing that I saw was this massive map of the world. So there was no place that you weren't interested in selling to?
Not really. Not really, but you can see that, yes, it's true. We think big, and I mean, let me tell you a small story. The first time we went out to, start building a 5 million tons plant in Nigeria for cement, most of our bankers said that, look, this is really too large. Aliko, why don't you do it slowly? Do 1 line or 2.5 when the market is good. I said that, but we already have the market. They said, no, they are a little bit worried, really. They don't want to risk their money. And I was able to convince them to go ahead with that 5 million tons. Anyway, we did all the financial model, everything, gave it to IFC. IFC said that, no, so how many years' money do you need? I said, I need about 4 years' money. I'm almost there. I only need to refinance myself so that I will not be, suffocated. Because we even built, at that time when we built the plant, Nigeria were paying almost, because there are only short-term funds, which are 90 days.
Exactly.
So we're borrowing 90 days money to invest in a long-term, investment.
That's a bit scary.
It is. I mean, it was really, yes. But, so, you have to take bold steps.
How did you deal with that scariness?
We believe that, yes, we'll get out of it. And we're very bold. We went ahead. We were paying the 44% interest.
44%?
Yeah, 44% interest. And then
Did you sleep?
Well, yes. I did.
You must tell me the secret.
I never had enough sleep anyway. So, so what we did was that we gave our plans to IFC, and IFC said that, okay, we're going to see how we can help. Anyway, eventually they said, no, we don't need 4 years money because it was too short, and we need 7 years money. Right. And, you know, we need 2 years moratorium, 5 years repayment. We just wanted the money. So it's okay, fine, whatever you believe in, you know, just you give us your own financial model, which they did. And at the end of the day, we proved them wrong because we paid off the $472 million within the moratorium period. We paid them in 18 months rather than 7 years. So our figures were actually proved that, yes, we were even wrong because we made much more money. Because at that time, the freight rates were high, cement was high. Nigeria was spending almost at that time about, you know, $1.2 billion in terms of importing of cement. And right now, today, we have the entire process. We're even into coal mining, you know, because we believe that the coal we have locally is cheaper for us to use it than using the gas. That's why Nigeria has enormous amount of gas.
How's the pollution going?
There's no pollution there. It's a very clean energy. Next time when you come, we'll take you to our, you know, I mean, we can even take you to the one in Senegal we have. There are some people there, they've seen it. You can actually sit there. We can have lunch there. So there's no...
Right. That's fantastic. Right. I'd like fish, please, not meat, fish.
No, with fish. Okay, actually, there's no pollution. I mean, His Excellency, the Vice President, I think he visited one of our plants in Zambia, and we're producing about 60 megawatts there.
Right.
It's using coal, but really it's a very clean process.
Now,
there's nothing like pollution at all.
Okay. Let's go back to this incredible $12 billion oil refinery. In practical terms, just tell the audience what difference is this going to make to the regional economy and to Africa, in practical terms?
Well, in practical terms, because when you look at it today, Nigeria imports most of what we use. And this refinery will help in terms of addressing all the issues. Nigeria will not now use $7 billion or so to import this. In the entire projects that we're doing there, we'll be able to save a total of about $15 billion in terms of this. And first of all, by not importing, so which is like the backward integration, saving the outflow of foreign exchange. And then we need to also export almost more than 40% of the capacity to other countries to bring in money. And we're using the same crude to produce the petrochemical. It's not going to be produced by gas. It's also byproduct, which we are now going to use in terms of exporting. But we use 300,000 in Nigeria. We're going to export about 1 million tons of polypropylene, polyethylene, which is a very high valued, products. When you look at it even regionally, almost all the countries in the sub-Saharan continent, they are importing petroleum products, be it Angola, be it Cameroon, be it,
which is incredible for Angola, given its...
That's right. Well, Angola, they tried to build a refinery in the last 18 years. They have not been able to. I think eventually they have jettisoned the idea of building because of the economic crisis. But when you look at it today, the only good, profitable, working refineries are two in the sub-Saharan, continent, which is the one in South Africa, Sasol, and then the one in Côte d'Ivoire. But apart from this, all the other refineries are really struggling. Majority of them, they are better off not even to produce, because, today technology has changed. Most of them, when they produce, they end up producing more of the byproducts like low-fuel oil and coal, which are very low in terms of value. But looking at this, you now say, okay, fine, is Africa going to continue, especially the sub-Saharan Africa? Are we going to continue to be importing petroleum products? Maybe today we're lucky, freight is cheap, but freight rates too will go up very soon, because, in the...
How soon?
Freight market...
People need to know.
Freight markets are always, going in cycle, the shipping business. You have 10 years of good business, then 10 years of bad business. Let me give you an example. When we were importing cement into Nigeria, we have even paid freight up to $90, and that freight rate dropped to 12.
Oof.
Yes, and is now back up to about 25, 28, in that bracket. So you can actually see it up very soon, because right now people are not building new ships. People are scrapping most of the old ones. So the market, they too are trying to consolidate, while the market is going to now become very, 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 tough. As we speak, today is cheap. But going forward, it's going to change quite a lot. And mind you, with the population of Nigeria by 2020, in the next 2.5 years, we're going to be about 210 million in terms of population. 210 million people cannot continue to import what they use on a daily basis, because the infrastructure to discharge and distribute won't be there. You see, and also we're going to reduce by tying down our money, because there is going to be a flow of refining and coal. And one of the other things that we're doing is actually trying to fully diversify the economy more by running a gas pipeline of 550 kilometers from the Niger Delta, from Bonny to Lagos. But before getting to Lagos, it will get to the Ogidigbe, which is in Delta State, as an industrial, industrial zone, which the government have actually zoned as a duty-free area to produce various things, in terms of oil and gas. And then there is Olokola, from Olokola now to Lagos. Then it will actually go back to ELS, which is the East, Lagos pipeline. Yeah. So even if there are attacks on other gas pipelines, we'll continue to have gas.
Right.
And today, Nigeria has over 6,000 megawatts of power that has not actually been commissioned because of lack of gas. And it's not because there's no gas, it's because there's no infrastructure to evacuate the gas. And that will help in terms of reducing the flaring of gas.
Right. I'm going to come to a power question in a minute, but why are you laughing?
No, I say power, because you have already asked His Excellency.
No. I'm talking about electric power.
Yes,
I'm talking about electric,
power, yes.
not political power.
No, not
it's okay,
political,
I won't put you on the spot. That's all right.
No.
Anyway, but just you said something very important about growing population and the need to become more self-sufficient. Now, we've heard from the Vice President, His Excellency, who clearly understands this problem and has explained it to this audience very well. My question is, do the bureaucrats understand that? Or do they say, Aliko, it's okay, the oil price will go back, everything will be all right?
No, I think in fairness to the government, they do understand that. And that is why really we have a very good, cordial relationship with the government, where we have this industrial council. And, we talk freely, we always advise. And they're always listening to, our advice. Things have actually dramatically changed.
Right.
In terms of, because government, yes, they can only facilitate. It's not their job to create jobs.
I understand.
How
big is this industrial council, by the way? Is it like a parliament, or is it quite small?
No, it's not like a parliament. We have it in two ways, the one that we have were about 42 people. It's a little bit big,
yes,
but then we also operate in committees. But then there is also a little bit of inner...
Oh, the cabinet.
Yes.
I bet you're in the cabinet.
Well, with the...
How big is this cabinet, this little bit thing?
Well, few of us, we sit down
it's like
and we
three.
Look at... Well, His Excellency is
it's
here.
Better
I
than...
don't want to,
I
don't want to bail the cat out, but, we always sit down.
Yeah, Aliko, by the way, it's got to be better than 42.
Well, I don't know about that, but, I think we have a very good cordial relationship where now we always advise what is the best way in terms of attracting investment, in terms of attracting, and there's quite a lot of interest, not only from us locally in Nigeria. I mean, Recently, we had a transaction by one company, Genesis, that they were interested in buying shares in our company, and they bought in one day $250 million worth of our shares in the Dangote cement, and we're also working on another transaction of about $200 million, hopefully this month. So there's quite a lot of interest. But with the government, there are two things that normally kill investment in Africa, or even kill entrepreneurs in Africa.
Yes.
Where when you look at it, number one is the thing that you call electric power. Okay, because it's difficult to do industry without electric power. Number two is the inconsistency in government policies. I'm talking about Africa generally, where you start with a policy, they believe that this policy is not working, then you change it, because you need to really allow something to work.
Yeah.
With that, when we were starting industry, and that's why we're very, very profitable, there are a lot of people who are doing the same business with us, but because our own scale is big, and we also have done quite a lot of numbers, number one, we agreed right from the beginning that, okay, we will provide ourselves with the power. There are two deficiencies. One is power, one is inconsistency in terms of government policies. The inconsistency in terms of government policy is being mitigated by us consistently engaging with them, by them also seeing that, look, government will not be able to create jobs without partnering with the private sector.
Yeah.
So that has actually helped quite a lot. So we've been able to mitigate those risks. Okay, the second risk is to do with power. We started right from the beginning that, look, we'll generate our own power. And it has really helped us. Today we're generating our own power, with less than 3.5, 4 cents per kilowatt hour. And that's very, very, very cheap in all respect, whether it is here, Ethiopia, or anywhere. And, that has helped us a lot. So we did not really rely on the national grid. If I had relied on the national grid today, my cost of production in Nigeria would have been 50% higher than what it is today. So, and the consistency, the reliability of the power is also not there. So when you look at it today, in Africa as a whole, we are only not producing power in two countries, which is Ethiopia and South Africa. But even now, South Africa, in the last 1 or 2 years, we've actually suffered a bit because they've started what you call load shedding. So they give some areas who are not giving, and that really disrupts our own operation. It's getting better now.
Now, you've got a true Pan-African perspective because of your scale and your reach. And you referred to inconsistencies in policy. So how is your business going in Tanzania, and how is your relationship with President Magufuli?
Leonard, sometimes you really know how to put somebody on the spot.
Yeah, because we're friends, I can do that, right?
Well, my personal relationship with him, is okay, and but on the business side,
can you define okay?
I think my personal relationship with him, yes, I can always call him. I have his mobile number. I call him. I can, complain, and he listens to me. But the general policies, I think, of Tanzania, they really need to have a look at it. I think they've scared quite a lot of investors, and scaring investors, I think, is not the good thing to do. It's not a good thing to do, because today, whether I'm right or I'm wrong, once an investor complains, then the rest will run away. They don't want to even hear the details. So, okay, somebody is having, so that is the issue. But in fairness to the other countries, like we've had issues with one country which I don't want to mention, and I called the president from the US that, look, I'm passing by your country on my way back home. I don't know if I can stop and see you because I have some people. He said, yeah, by all means, Aliko, come, And I went there, we had 45 minutes meeting. All our problems were sorted out. So sometimes it is about communication.
Right.
But with Tanzania, because you have the parliament, for example, saying that, okay, fine, what they want is that, anybody who is in mineral sources should give 16% undiluted shares of your company free to the government.
Oof.
So it's actually, coming through the back door to seize your assets. And then again, they can come back in the next few years, and take majority shares at their price. And I spoke to, one of the former presidents there. I said, well, if this, he said, no, Mr. Dangote, don't worry. This law, it has nothing to do with cement. There are some other areas which we are looking at. I said, well, it's better you define it. Better tell people that this is what it is. But even if it's not for cement, I think it is a wrong policy. Once you chase an investor out of your country, it will be very difficult to bring that investor back. So I'm sure, we will engage them and we'll try and resolve the issue, because we have over $620 million of a brand new investment, which we just commissioned.
A brand new one, yeah.
Yeah, new.
So more positively, if you had to pick a couple of places in Africa, apart from Nigeria, where there are real opportunities for growth, where would you pick?
Yes, you say that apart from Nigeria, but I have to pick Nigeria.
You've just made a lot of people happy in this audience.
Well, you have to pick, Nigeria. The thing is that people are actually underrating the Nigerian economy. I am a big believer in Nigeria because today, as we speak, Nigeria has massive arable land, and we're using only 8% of our land. Today, if you ask who are the most happiest people in Nigeria today, they will say the farmers. And the farmers too will actually rise up and say, yeah, we're very happy because government have actually looked into agriculture very, very seriously. And people now, when you sit and you look at most vehicles going out of town, you see them carrying beds, carrying air conditions and co, because the farmers have made some money and their lifestyle is changing. The other country, I think, is Ethiopia. Ethiopia is very good.
Yes.
Investment is excellent there. They've had issues there, which is normal in an African context. We have our ups and downs. And then I'll say Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire is also, good. They have very good policies. And you have Kenya. We haven't started yet. We're just about to start.
Ethiopia?
Ethiopia is excellent.
Yeah.
Ethiopia is really excellent. Corruption is very low.
Yeah.
And,
And I was in Rwanda for 6 days. How do you rate Rwanda?
Rwanda is actually, very good. Like what I said in New York, we were on a panel with the president. I said that, yes, Mr. President, I think you have done very well. Two things that he has done very well is fighting corruption and also facilitating businesses. The third one that I think he has done is that removing that, what do you call
red tape?
this, not red tape, about these tribal issues.
Yeah.
Because, for example, now I made some...
Visa-free travel he's got in that region.
Not even visa, within the country. For example, today, if you see anybody, for example, now you ask me, yes, Aliko, are you a Nigerian? I say yes. So where are you from? I say yes, I'm from the north. You are what? I say I'm Hausa, okay? But in Rwanda today, nobody will tell you that I'm Hutu or Tutsi.
Yes.
So he's been able to eliminate that. Anybody that you ask, who are you? I say, no, I'm a Rwandan. Tutsi or Hutu, you say, no, I'm a Rwandan. So which is very good. And then the corruption one, he has actually fought that, I think, is to the extreme. I even told him. Because today, Rwandans, they don't even accept tips.
They don't accept tips?
Yes.
Tips are banned?
They're the only country in the world that don't accept tips. I told him because most of the time, any time that I visit Ethiopia, Rwanda, he will give me security and co. And in our culture, when you are living, even like a driver, taxi driver, you pay there, you give them something as a tip. So we normally give them $1,000, they refuse. So this time around, I said, okay, fine. But I'm sure the lady serving us tea at the airport, she will take something because she's on a lower level. And so my guy gave her $100. She said that, no, sir, thank you. We don't accept tips here.
Yeah, yeah, because...
So it's not a bribe, it's a tip.
It's just a tip.
But they don't.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You know, whereas you go to countries like Saudi Arabia, they even demand for tips now.
Yes.
So it's about contentment, it's not about money.
Yeah, I know. And I'm about to go to Saudi Arabia next week.
So you better have
big
something
wallet.
in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, Aliko, that's been a fascinating conversation. I'm now going to put you on the spot with the toughest question of all.
Okay, let me see if I can handle it.
Okay. And I say this because I'm a Tottenham Hotspur supporter. Are you going to buy Arsenal Football Club?
Yes, I am. And I'm trying to see... I'm trying to see that I do it faster than what I, program. I said that, I'll move and buy it at any price. But because I have quite a lot of balls in the air right now to deliver my refinery and other stuff in Nigeria, but as soon as we finish, my Emir, His Royal Highness, the Emir of Kano, he kept saying that, look, Aliko, please try and save our club. And I said, okay, fine, don't worry. I know what to do. As soon as I buy, there are a couple of people that I need to get rid of first.
Yes. Aliko, wonderful to talk to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.